Hello and welcome. I'm an AI expert from Europe Hotel School, and I'm thrilled to guide you on this part of your online learning journey. You see, in the hotel world, your reservations team is so much more than a group of people taking calls. They are right there on the absolute front line of your revenue. But how do you actually transform that team from just order takers into a high-powered sales engine? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive deep into the intensive training that builds that crucial bridge between strategy and real tangible profit. So let's just get right to the heart of it with this quote. I want you to think about it this way. Training is not just some box you have to tick on a checklist. No way. It is the single most critical link connecting a hotel's brilliant commercial strategy to the money actually landing in the bank. And if that bridge is weak, well, the entire strategy can just fall apart. The stakes really couldn't be higher. So here's how we're going to walk across that bridge together today. First, we'll talk about why this whole thing is so vital in the first place. Then, we're going to break down the three massive pillars of elite training: mastering the systems, executing rate strategy, and then the real magic, the art of conversion. And by the end, you'll see how it all comes together in a complete transformation. Now, let's be clear, this kind of intensive training, it's not optional. It's the final, absolutely non-negotiable hurdle a team has to clear before a hotel can even think about opening its doors. Why? Because a failure in training is a direct failure to convert revenue. It really is that simple. Every single call, every click, every guest interaction is a moment where money is either made or lost. Okay, so to build a team that consistently wins in those moments, we focus on these three core pillars. First step is the how, and that means total, absolute mastery of the technology. Second is the what and why, a really deep understanding of the rate strategy. And finally, the action. This is all about the communication skills that turn a simple question into a confirmed booked reservation. So let's dive into Pillar 1, Total System Mastery. This is the bedrock. This is the foundation for everything else. And I mean, forget those generic demo environments. Training has to happen on the live, fully configured central reservation system and property management system. There's just no substitute for the real thing. Your agents need to be able to fly through every single one of these transactions without even thinking about it. The goal here is pure muscle memory. We're talking about hundreds of simulations so that handling a complex group booking or posting a prepayment becomes as automatic as breathing. That kind of speed and accuracy under pressure, it's completely non-negotiable. But it's not just about knowing one system inside and out. An elite agent understands the entire tech ecosystem. They know that when they change an allocation in the CRS, that action is going to ripple out to the channel manager and all the way to OTA sites. They're actually trained to be auditors to spot those synchronization errors before they become really expensive problems. So what happens when the absolute worst case scenario hits and the technology completely fails? That's where the manual backup kit, or the MBK, comes in. This is the hotel's lifeline. Teams are put through their paces with a simulated mid-shift system crash to really test their resilience. Can they still check guests in, track their charges, and cut keys by hand? This protocol makes sure the hotel never, ever stops running, no matter what. Okay, let's move on to our second pillar and see how this all builds. Once you have that system mastery as the foundation, we can elevate the agent from just being an operator to being a true custodian of the hotel's revenue. This is where they learn the what and the why behind every single price they quote. This table right here, this is the language of revenue, and an agent needs to be instantly fluent in it. They don't just quote a price, they sell the value behind it. For example, they can clearly explain why that non-refundable rate is cheaper, right? They'll point out that it requires full prepayment with no cancellation. They learn to frame these restrictions, these fences, as an opportunity for the guest to save money. And this right here, this is the fundamental shift in mindset. We are training a team for active selling, not passive order taking. See, an order taker just processes a request, but a sales agent, they identify buying signals. They persuasively convert an inquiry for a standard room into a booking for a suite or a really profitable package. They are given measurable goals for upselling, turning every single call into a revenue opportunity. Ultimately, this all comes down to financial integrity. Every single agent has to understand the real-world consequences of their decisions. They learn all about the cost of distribution through different channels and the direct hit to revenue that's caused by giving out an unauthorized discount. In short, they truly become guardians of the hotel's bottom line. And now for our third and final pillar. This is where the technology and the strategy all merge with masterful communication. This is the art of conversion. where every single word is carefully chosen to guide the guest toward making that booking. Here, consistency is everything. Every call has to follow a carefully choreographed flow. Now, this isn't about creating robots. It's about making sure there's a high-quality, on-brand experience every single time. From the mandatory greeting to the open-ended questions that undercover what a guest really needs, every step is designed to lead to a sale. And you can bet that managers are listening to these calls, auditing them constantly. The classic objection. Every reservations agent on the planet has heard this one. It's an inevitable challenge, and frankly, being unprepared just isn't an option. So, how does an elite team handle this? Well, they don't argue, and they don't just price match. Instead, they are armed with authorized on-brand responses. The training gives them the exact phrasing they need to pivot the conversation away from a losing battle on price and back to the overwhelming value of booking directly with the hotel itself. The most effective training happens right here, in scenario-based role-playing. You just can't learn how to handle a complex, emotional situation by reading a textbook. You have to live it. By simulating these tricky gray area challenges, agents build the confidence and the skill to handle pretty much anything a real guest can throw at them. So, after mastering the systems, understanding the strategy, and honing the fine art of communication, what's the result of all this? Well, it's nothing short of a complete transformation of the team's capabilities. The journey really creates a sharp distinction. A proficient team, yeah, they know the system, but a high conversion team has system mastery. A proficient team can quote you a rate. A high conversion team executes rate strategy. And most importantly, where a proficient team simply answers the phone, a high-conversion sales team converts those calls into maximum revenue. And that brings us to our final thought for today. As technology and AI continue to automate all the simple tasks, what we've just talked about shows that the real, lasting value is created by highly trained human beings who can strategize, persuade, and solve complex problems. So the question for all of us in this industry is, where else can this incredible level of human expertise truly make the difference?